What's some juicy gossip you just found out in your personal lives? My sister is pregnant with her third child. Third guy. The first father, V, is awesome. He has custody of both their child and her second. No biological relationship to him. The second baby daddy has apparently been threatening my sister and V after learning of the third child and that V took her in. V and my sister still have a functional platonic relationship at this point, and due to fear of reproach from the second, and maybe the third, V has taken both kids, my pregnant sister, and his own son with him out of state to make sure there's no reproach from 2 or 3. V is one of my favorite humans. He treats the second child like his own, despite no longer being in a romantic relationship with my sister, since 2010. Dude is as good as they come, in my opinion. That my brother asked my mom for a $1,000 for rent. She gave him $1,400 so he could also pay back a loan. Then he turned around and also asked my dad for $1,000 for rent, which he also gave him. He then turned around and used the money to buy tickets to Burning Man. My parents aren't going to lend out any more money without talking to each other first. My ex, after 1 week of being single, started dating this SoundCloud rapper. Now she's pregnant with twins. We're still in our teens. Pastor was having an affair with his cousin's wife. One day while giving a sermon, the cousin storms into church, tackles the pastor and starts to throw haymakers at him. The cousin's wife is trying to pull her husband off the pastor. The pastor's wife quickly figured out what was happening, ran up and clocked the wife from behind, knocking her out. People are trying to separate everyone. Total chaos. Steph just found out the other week through the grapevine that 2 of my exes are now together. My friends were coming to me like, hey, didn't you used to date both of them? How did that happen? One of them is very mild-mannered and relaxed and we ended it amicably because we were getting bored. The other one is hot-headed, impulsive, and motivated. That one ended because we both had trouble communicating our grievances in a healthy manner. Given my experience with both of them, I have no idea how they're gonna make it work, but I wish them both luck. That my uncle left my auntie for the phone sex line worker he was calling for the last 3 years. This is the saddest story, for some reason. It's just ducking existentially sad. He'll probably save some money now, so there's that. A year ago my family member, 26, discovered that his fiancée, 29, of 7 years, who he has 2 children with, had been having an affair with his younger brother, who just turned 18. His brother was living in his house rent-free at the time as well. So his fiancée left him for his brother and had a fling with him for a couple months. The younger brother is basically homeless now, jumping from friend to crash at their houses, while working at a job that he makes minimum wage at, $7.25, while she is still living under her ex-fiancé's roof. She then decided she wanted to work things out with her ex-fiancé, so they got back together and decided to reconcile the relationship, which left the younger brother furious. Shortly after that, she finds out she is pregnant but does not know which brother is the father. Her fiancé said he would raise the baby as his own even if it was not his. So she decides to keep the baby. This makes the younger brother more furious because she aborted the child before this baby that she knew was the younger brother's. So the younger brother verbally attacks her for aborting that child and keeping this one because there is a chance it is her fiancé's. She is unemployed during this time, so her fiancé is paying for all of the expenses. 9 months later, still unemployed. She has the baby and it ends up being the younger brother's child and they all try to do co-parenting. The baby is 3 months old now and my family member's fiancé left him for his younger brother again. Edit. Thanks for the silver and gold. Edit. I edited the fiancé and fiancée errors I had in the initial post and added spaces to break up the whole post. Thank you. After all this, we tried to hang out with him and our other friends at our house to get his mind off the entire situation and he invited her over. Did not ask us if it was okay or even mention it. She just showed up, knowing damn well everyone at our house does not want her there. He told us that if he is okay with hanging out with her then we should also be okay with hanging out with her. My cousin has been together with his wife for 14 years and has had a girlfriend for just as long. Neither of them knew about the other. He got caught because of an image on Facebook. His wife's sister posted a family picture which my cousin was in and got recognized by his girlfriend's sister's acquaintance. He got away with that for 14 years. A friend of mine had 2 kids with a guy who worked in oil fields. He worked in 3-month-long shifts where he would travel to another state, then come home for 3 months, then travel again. They were together 7 years, married for 5, when she was doing laundry and found a second cell phone in his pants. Turns out, he had been married for 10 years to another woman who he also had kids with in his work state. She decided to wait it out, filed for annulment on the basis that he was married to someone else, and filed for custody of their kids while he was gone for work. Once she had it all worked out, she called the first wife and told her that not only had he cheated on her, he married someone else, and fathered 2 other kids. The husband angrily drove for 11 hours back to her state to find the house empty. Unfortunately for her not husband anymore found her and beat her within an inch of her life, blaming her for the first wife leaving him. She was in the hospital for several months and he is now in prison. My ex-wife and I finalized our divorce last June. She's giving birth in a few weeks with the guy she was cheating on me with. If it was anyone else I wouldn't care as much, but since it's this guy, it hurts. Oh, and she email invited me to buy them gifts off of their baby registry, so I'm trying to think of the most petty item I could get, though I know I shouldn't show I'd give a shit. Buy them a paternity test. It will get a new guy's head. My 2 friends just found out they have the same sugar daddy. They had both been under the impression that they were exclusive with him. Man, to be rich enough to sugar daddy for 2 girls at once. Truly the American dream. I'd like to be rich enough to sugar daddy myself. Shoot, I'd be fine being a stevia daddy. Sweet and low on funds. My hairdresser is leaving her husband and 5 kids to marry an Italian basketball player. Well, my dog acts like she doesn't like our new cat, but I caught them playing last night and as soon as she noticed me she runs over to me pretending she wasn't playing. Scandal. I have no life. This was the peak of my weekend. My co-worker makes $10 an hour, works part-time and pays for her living. Still married. Boyfriend's rent and child support cause he's broke. She just found his bank receipt showing $17K in his checking account. Commenting from my other account. A couple that we have been friends with for a few years now, both very normal people with vanilla jobs, took a trip overseas that was supposed to last a week. Not unusual for any of our group of friends. No one had heard from them for close to a month until we found out they'd been arrested on the other side of the barking earth trying to smuggle out close to $1 million for an international drug cartel out of the country they were visiting. When we heard the news we were just sitting there quietly in disbelief for about 5 minutes. I just found out that one of my work colleagues who just returned from a 2-week expensive holiday with his wife in Iceland has just found out his wife has run up about £50,000 debt on numerous credit cards. Oof. That's a large amount. What did she spend it on? For a start, she paid for her son's, from a previous marriage, university fees without telling him. One of my female friends, who looks like a slightly classier version of Courtney Stodden, confessed to me that she enjoys the thought of 2 hot, shirtless men fighting over her. She said she is considering goading her boyfriend into fighting some random dude who keeps slipping into her DMs. Just tell her to watch MMA with the sound off. Friend is getting married next weekend. They've been together a few years and have a 2-year-old son. At his bachelor party, we were all poking fun at him on whether or not he was ready. Shit-faced or sober, he is 100% committed to them. Another friend of mine is close friends with the bride who is apparently questioning everything about their relationship and has repeatedly stated that he's not the type of guy she ever imagined seeing herself with. Some girl in our year at school posted on Facebook the other day how her boyfriend had supposedly cheated on her. They had a full-blown argument in the comments just on Facebook for everyone to see. Yesterday she posted a picture of some keys tagging her boyfriend in it saying just bought our first house together. Apparently for years my parents have told my teachers I have a learning disability. I didn't know I had learning disability. I don't think I have a learning disability. I asked them why and they said it takes about $1,500 off the cost of my university tuition from some government grant, so I guess I have a learning disability. Update. I asked my parents more questions about this and I apparently got tested when I was young and have a legitimate learning disability diagnosis. My parents aren't committing fraud. They knew all along that I was diagnosed and I just recently found out about it. One of the girls in our group of friends has never really gotten over her ex that left her 3 years ago. She will often bring him up when drunk and it has really hampered her dating life. He lives thousands of miles away, and today he posted a picture of him sitting with an attractive dude getting coffee. They are holding hands and their legs are touching. We were all sitting around the TV hanging out when she saw the picture. Shell shock is the best description for her face. My barber got 2 different girls pregnant, neither of whom are his girlfriend. Prices have went up a little bit but the phone calls I overhear are worth it lol. I live by a married man. Him and his family are very close to this lady we'll call Jess. They go on vacations with Jess, but in all photos she is near the husband, not the wife. There have been rumors that the husband is cheating on his wife with Jess. Just rumors though, right? Recently Jess moved across the country. We thought that was the end of it. Nope. My dad helps people so they can get mortgages and he just got a call from someone. The husband. They are moving with Jess across the country. Edit. A lot of people are questioning if it's polyamorous and I get that it's possible, but I don't know for sure. They could be leaving this conservative neighborhood because that's the situation. I know a guy who got his friend to marry him so he can get a green card. Except his friend was already in a relationship. Not only did my friend get married, he also inherited a boyfriend-in-law. Now the 3 of them live in the same house.